Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to All World Gaming Rainbow Six Season 1. You're watching Ignition Esports versus Revenge Nation. I am Corbeck, joined by It's Me, Matt, with Vortex on production and Kizo on observation. And thank you for joining us this fine day. Looking forward to an interesting game here on Villa, Matt. What are you looking at here?
I always love to cast Villa. It's probably one of my favorite ones just because there's so many adaptations and alterations that teams do to make this map their own personal playground. Whether that be on the defense or the attack, it should still shape up to be a really exciting one, especially Ignition Esports, Revenge Nation, two top tier teams battling it out in a best of one today.
Yeah, we'll be just a best of one as we get ready to get started here. It looks like we're just waiting for one player to hop into the lobby, and then we will kick things off. Villa is a interesting map, right? It's been around for a while. I think it's gone through its fair share of love and hate cycles. But you why do you enjoy casting it? Let me ask you.
So there's always that 20-second meta, and as a caster, it is just so entertaining to watch five attackers funnel in through one doorway with 15 seconds left,
Okay.
trying to force a plant because it's absolute chaos, but it's chaos, it's coordinated chaos. So I love it like that. I guess one of the prime examples is you're doing a trophy statue from Master Bedroom take towards Aviator in games where you're trying to get a plant off on Vault Door. 90% of the time, I just see teams try and run in through that door, and there's a smoke in Vault, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful
There's this
chaos. Yes, it's beautiful. And
There's
it's
a
just
smoke involved. There's always a smoke involved, isn't there? At the end of the day, when you have only 20 seconds left to get the diffuser down, it does seem to be an unfortunate confluence of events right there. But I haven't actually had a chance to see Revenge Nation or Ignition Esports play yet. Not in the context of all world gaming, and not really in any other context either. Is there any sort of insight you can give us into these two teams, Matt?
I don't have all that much insight. All I know is that in terms of the standings and the past matches that I have seen them play, they are a powerhouse, both of these teams to be reckoned with. I believe they have been able to take most of their opponents by storm in these past few weeks. So it should be exciting and probably very action packed.
Well, one would hope so. A bit of a barnstormer here on Villa would always be exciting. Kind of moving along here, trying to get this last player into the lobby so we can get started. Because I'm sure, as much as you all love Rainbow Six Siege, you did not come here to listen to me and Matt prattle on ad nauseum about the game. But we will be going as quickly as possible. It's interesting. I think that if we looked ahead, maybe towards our bans, what do you expect here? Besides maybe the obvious, right? There's one name that I
Right.
think should come up right away.
Mira Thatcher.
Yeah. Those maybe those are ones that I was thinking of. I don't know. You might be psychic as well.
I
The other.
would probably say like you're looking at most typically Ace Thatcher, Mira,
Yeah.
and maybe Malusi Valkyrie. Those are the ones we tend to see just because of their prevalence in the map. Valkyrie, more often than not, is banned by teams because she's so powerful on those
Oh,
Valkyrie
she
cam
is.
runouts. So she's more of a nuisance, and in the hands of the right person, she can be absolutely deadly. Same thing with Mira. Mira is just absolutely meta changing. You cannot attack a site the
Yeah.
same way if there's a Mira on there, or if there isn't. There's just two different ways you have to approach these objectives. Same thing with Ace. Ace is just really powerful, ranged hard breachers. Never ever go under. What can I say? Under picked. They're usually almost always
Underappreciated. Yeah.
underappreciated. Yeah,
They
no, they're
usually come
very
in.
no, they're definitely always a factor. You have Hibana Ace, Thermite's not ranged, but those hard breachers you want to try and mitigate. Some of them
Yeah.
Ace is probably the best when it comes to opening those studied walls, and then Thatcher. Well, Thatcher just completely sometimes breaks the game. So,
Thatcher is Thatcher.
moving on.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
They tried to kill him. He just wouldn't die. He's still around, still getting banned. It's the only way to keep him out. It's like Godzilla, really. He just keeps coming back whenever you don't want him to. But yeah, you're obviously right here, Mira. Incredibly powerful operator on Villa. I always kind of involuntarily shudder when I see a team that I'm playing with in ranked or something that doesn't ban Mira on Villa. You just look into that, black square there on the attack into study and know that death is lurking immediately behind it. Considering just how strong that bomb site is. Looks like we're still having a little bit of trouble getting this last player into the lobby. I'm not exactly sure where they've gone to. It's a bit unfortunate, as it were, but what do we? What more can we riff on here, Matt? What about the newest operator that's been added to the game? I like him. What do you think of our newest addition to the crew?
So I think that he's definitely going to have a place between the
Oh, for
utility of
sure.
Twitch and the explosive capability of and vertical destruction of like Sledge. I think he's going to be more of a Thatcher uh variant. So he is going to be very powerful, yes, but he comes with some very, very easy counters. One, you could shoot the drone. It's a drone. At the end of the day, you could still easily get rid of that. Same thing, mute jammers screw them up, Mozzie Pest screw them up. But the
Yeah,
fact that he has 4 of them still bothers me because that is
yeah.
basically 4 nitro cells strapped to a drone that can drive anywhere. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, it can freaking jump.
It can jump. Yeah, it's pretty crazy when you see the jump sometimes in action. I've been helping out a college team lately, helping fill for some of their scrims, and I always enjoy watching the player jump those bombs through all sorts of weird places, and then it just blows up. I swear they're gonna have to take away one of them. His four is just so strong.
Oh, absolutely. And I think we're getting a little bit of insight into the issue right now. The player is having some PC trouble, not just the
Oh
game, like
no.
his PC is fried or something like that. So they're gonna need a sub or else they may have to forfeit here, which would be very unfortunate because I kind of wanted to see this match.
Yeah, I wanted to see this match as well. You've got me hyped up for it, Matt. Talking about how good these teams are, like why Villa is an exciting map. We talked about bans and all sorts of stuff. I'm ready and raring to go here, but it looks like we might just be waiting a little bit longer to get the I don't know, the Geek Squad around. I don't know what he's doing tinkering with his PC. He's got one of those setups. It's an entire room, like computers back in the 1950s. So it's going to be a little hard for him to find the exact problem.
Yeah, I think we're going to throw it to a short break and we will be back figuring out exactly what is going on, but don't go anywhere. The action is right here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All World Gaming. Today's matchup is going to be Revenge Nation versus Ignition Esports Banning. On Villa, I'm joined here with Corbik, my co-caster, and of course, there's the Thatcher Ben.
Yep, just as we said, Thatcher obviously getting banned out right away. Nothing too surprising there. Don't think we'll see anything probably too surprising through all of these bans. If I'm being honest here, Matt, it's be standard stuff.
Absolutely. I'm expecting to see a hard breach ban here, but I could be surprised by something else. It is going to be a jackal. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but a map like Villa, you want to be able to clear roamers sometimes, and I know a lot of teams do rely on that jackal to do so. So now it's going to rely a little bit more on teamwork, coordination, and droning in order to clear those roamers. Third ban coming out here for Villa
Mira,
is going to be
yeah.
Mira. So there's that Mira we were talking about. Nation Esports getting rid of that quite early.
Necessary ban, arguably, to just not have a horrible time. Kaid coming in as the last one. Uh, I guess I can see it.
Well, Kaid is one of those interesting picks, and usually when you ban a Thatcher, you have to ban the Kaid too, because you really don't have
Yeah.
a way of dispatching those claws. You can use a nade, but there's so much utility, dump, and burn on the side of the defender, it's just almost impossible. Looks like Revenge Nation setting up for an Aviator in Games Hold, and the class was shown, but then not 6 for a Goyo, but switched for a Goyo. So it looks like a pretty stock standard hold here. You have the Mozzie for frags, Goyo to burn utility, the Jaeger to aid with that, and the Goyo is going to be 6 to a
And then they
Valkyrie
6-pick
here.
out to a Valkyrie. Oh, no.
So there's really not that much utility to burn here if you are Ignition, because you only have to worry about Jaeger's ADSs, and then you have free reign of realistically pushing sight. You have a couple of Maestro camps to deal with, but on the side of the attackers, they have the Zofia, Twitch, Ash. There's a lot of potential for Ignition to just really run into sight without having too much to contest.
Yeah, definitely. Don't know if I necessarily would have swapped Nomad out for the Ace. I guess if you're planning on just going straight to the gut, yeah, probably the Nomad makes maybe a little bit more sense, all things considered. Some fast movement involved here as well. Gonna be maybe a bit of a rough time to get through study, but if you can kind of go quickly and quietly enough, or just quick enough, actually, all things considered, Matt, I think you could be in the site and planting in a very rapid amount of time.
Well, you only have mute for your wall denial,
That is a very good
which
point.
is kind of easy to deal with. You have nades and you only have the Jaeger ADSs to really get rid of. Now, Twitch here is probably going to be the best way to counter or going below. So I'm not sure. We're having a little bit of difficulty for players loading in, but I guess that there's some issues with person's hard drive, because it's sitting here for about a minute.
We have been
And
indeed. Yeah. Does sound
this
like they're
is
having some issues with their loading in. So we wait. After round 3, he will start loading fast. It's been stated right there.
alrighty.
Easter
Well,
breakfast will be our halftime show. Yeah, it might be at this rate, all things being equal. We obviously have Chronic here waiting to see if he can get the ultimate haul, and Mystic hopefully not playing foolishly into a Mozzie as well. Doubt we'll probably see anything like that. And obviously, giving up the ace here too, you do still have the Hibana as the ranged hard breacher. Personally, I prefer the ace, I think, but I mean, I guess when push comes to shove, Hibana can slot in there just as well if needed, Matt.
I'm sorry. What's
I
what's
was
up?
I was just saying that I prefer ace to Hibana for a ranged hard breacher, all
Oh,
things considered.
absolutely. Yeah, no. Ace is just a little bit more not versatile, because with the Hibana changes, Hibana is way better at getting hatches. But Ace can do a little bit more in opening up walls than Hibana can. And it just takes longer to open a wall with Hibana than it does with Ace. You can just chuck a Selma charge on one wall and then throw it on another, and boom, you have
Yeah,
two
move to the
different
next. Yeah.
crossfires to already look through. And you can walk through, vault through. For Hibana, you kind of have to mess with her pellets. Put 2 here, then put another 2 here, and Reflex has been removed from the match. Okie dokie. Well,
Unfortunate. He's on an Xbox with a Zim. I'd believe it, actually, at this point in time.
I mean, after
all
seeing that
things being
loading
said.
screen, I would
Yeah.
not doubt that. So again, setting up for an Aviator in games defense here. There's going to be no rehost because we're not waiting to do that again. Kenny looking to try and get set up here on site. Same with the rest of Revenge Nation. The Maestro most likely going to be playing in 90. Normal spot for him to be mute, putting his jammers down, just making sure they got all these setups. Now, Ignition has a little bit more of a challenge to overcome now that they've lost their hard breacher. Now,
Yeah.
it's going to be very difficult to push into study, and things could be shaping up very odd here.
Yeah, might be missing that ace 6 pick at the moment. I don't think they quite anticipated, obviously, to have that happen, or they might have kept him around just to have the second hard breacher on standby. To me, that would indicate that you'd start to shift your perception over to maybe a trophy room statue, push in from that direction rather than trying to come in from study. But I mean, that presents its own set of challenges here, and we begin to see them kick off, and that does appear to be maybe the idea. And they're all stacked up on the window of master bedroom in a very military fashion right there. The drones are going out and doing their little looky-loo. DeBank just pushing straight up here, clearing out master and going forward. Kenny now playing in a trophy. Just there on the roam, checks the Val cams real quick, and then it's back to DeBanks. K-Jax here. Ooh, got the gun sights on the back of his Twitch's head. Don't want to particularly be in that situation. Mystic dropping another Twitch drone there and taking a look. Chosen backing up too. So they've got a pretty good idea of where this one's coming in from, Matt.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I think that the setup here from Revenge Nation, this extension into Trophy and Statue, is definitely proving to chew all through a lot of that utility for Ignition here. I find it odd that they're not going for a study side take, but you know, with the Hibana, it probably would have been a little bit better. Chronic's going to find Tlor, and then Kjax is going to fall as well. Chronic, he finds the bank. Mystic gets one back onto Chronic on the refrag. Now he's left in a 1v5. Things are looking a little bit dire here. Maybe he'll just stall time, wait for his teammate to reconnect, but yeah, not that much happening here.
No, it'd almost be a valid strategy to just wait it out and see if he can give a little bit more time to get Reflex back in the lobby. Mystic's just going to push up here, take a quick look there into statue room. Now he'll begin his slow, ponderous walk around. He doesn't really have any pressure on him at all if he just wants to wait this out for as long as possible. And Kenny's just waiting for him to come in. The defenders don't look particularly non-pulsed, and Jaeger's got one hell of a nasty sightline there too, as well, from the top of the bar in games room. It does look as if Kenny's given up on that closer hold, so they are just backing off a little bit. Valcam's coming out right there doing the quick check. Mystic still waiting for his opportunity to push forward, and he'll go ahead and start to walk in. Skunky there, quick peeking the door, sees the target, but Mystic gets the kill. Now he'll push up. The Jaeger long sightline about to come into play. No, he'll just face check the door real quick right there and back right back out of the aviator room. The ADS getting burned out right there. The smoke, I think, attempting to go in. Won't find it, and it will be that Jaeger atop the bar who secures the first or the final kill.
Very good angle here from the Jaeger. It's probably one of the best ways to cover that vault door. And as expected, Revenge Nation is going to take this first round. I think part of the issue was that they had no hard breacher on the side of Ignition. And I think their goal was to go for a study side push, but without that Hibana, it's just not going to be viable.
No, I agree. You're completely right there, Matt. I mean, and the thing is too, right? These are intelligent teams. Like the minute they see that the Hibana is the one who disconnected, they know that study is not a viable attack route anymore. And then it's just a matter of putting everything you have towards that denial coming in from main bedroom. And it looks like things might be a little rough here for a second. I don't know exactly what the situation is going to be, whether we're just going to go for a complete rehost, and it does look like that might be what we're doing at this stage.
Yep, so we're going to swap over to a break, get some more things figured out, but don't go anywhere. The action is right here.
World Gaming, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rainbow Six Season 1, Ignition Esports versus Revenge Nation. I'm Corbeck, joined by It's Me, Matt, with Vortex on production and Kizo on observation. Unfortunately, some PC issues did force a lobby rehost there, but we did see Revenge Nation take defense number 1, holding out on Aviator Games, and now we are back looking at a trophy statuary room take here on the pick screen. And Matt, anything standing out to you right away, or is this pretty standard stuff?
I mean, it looks pretty standard. Now, you don't see a lot of teams extend inside of Trophy and Statue to that extent, what we saw from Revenge Nation. So, I do like that look. It does give a different kind of style and hold to that defensive site. And you had a Valkyrie there as well, the Jaeger to play. You had some holes to cover Astro. Overall, a very, very good setup. Not many teams go for that. They rather anchor in 90 and hold inside of Aviator as well. So I like the way that Revenge Nation played that. And I can't really say anything on the side of Ignition because, again, they were down a player and it was their hard breach. They went for that secondary push inside of Master Bedroom, but I still think their primary goal was to force Study.
Yeah, and you see Talor there will be coming out on the ace, so securing basically the hard breacher on somebody with maybe a little bit more of a reliable connection. Nomad will be played by Reflex on this particular round. Zofia coming out from Kjax and a Twitch once more on the other side. Yeah, nothing really blowing the doors off here in terms of creativity. But you're right, it was a very good hold, obviously bolstered a little bit by the fact that they didn't have to worry about any other routes really once it all became a kind of an academic matter. And we're just waiting here for another load time ad nauseum, dude. Is that hamster powering up, man? You gotta give him some of that juice from Space Jam or something to get him going.
Probably. You know, a hamster can only run for so long before they kind of die. So I think his hamster is just kind of I don't even want to say trotting. He's just dragging himself across the wheel at this point. And he's
Ambling,
working
maybe.
though. He's working on it, all right? It might just be a 4v5 the rest of the game, unfortunately, and we hate to see that kind of stuff. But oh wait, we got it to load. There we go.
Oh boy, there we go.
Alrighty.
He picked up the
Finally
pace.
got it. Yeah, I guess he was like, yeah, guys, I'm not dragging my body yet. Here, let me just sprint real quick. And he sprinted. Now it's fine.
He's back in. Just setting up some reinforcements here, throwing down the ADSs, securing the defense. It's a shame we don't really see the viability of that old castle thing you used to be able to do when Wamai was a little bit stronger, where you could kind of take that really aggressive hold like out to the closet in the bathroom. But I missed that particular strat. I don't know why. It just always entertained me.
5 seconds to insertion.
It's not as viable as it was. You're definitely correct to that extent.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb.
We are seeing a very heavy extension inside of Study and Aviator. They have the reinforcement set up default, and that's probably going to lend them to stop this Study overtake. A lot of teams opt for these north-south, south-north takes when they push an upstairs site, whether that be Aviator in games or Trophy and Statue. If you're pushing Trophy and Statue, you either push Study or you go for Master Bedroom. If you're pushing Aviator in games, you usually push from either Trophy or Statue, Master Bedroom side, or you go from site. Those are the only two ways, and it all depends on your operator composition and the synergy behind it. Nitro Cell rings out from Kenny. Kjax is killed from below. That's a good free-play C4.
Unfortunately, running a little behind here. Just flick forward, see if I can catch up. Mystic there, get some shots in through the window. Chronic does go down. DeBank's now pushing up towards 90. Checks into Games Room. Good pick there into the vault as well. Kenny taken down right away. Chosen now just spamming out the wall. Knows there's somebody there. The Jaeger involved in a heated exchange. Doesn't quite find anyone. The wall blows out behind him, and Chosen will go down. The defenders now really on the back foot. There's another one added as well. Reflex picking up the pistol kill there. Now just poor hold down here in the trophy room. Does get one rotating around the doorway. Playing back now towards the split, leading into Astronomy. Just looks out there, has the sightline into Trophy. The ping live for him as well. Impact comes out right away. He'll get one more. Nice job here from the Echo, holding on. Sees another. Oh, he's got one. Hold down.
What a shot. What a
Hold
shot.
now.
Hold down is holding down site right now, but he's
Attackers
got to try and
recovered the
stop the
diffuser.
plant from going down. Echo, probably one of the best in the game to try and deny that. Echo's going to come out, concussing the Nomad, looking for the shot. Oh, he peeks out at just the wrong time. Hold down, looking to try and get this diffuser stopped here. 55 seconds left to play. Still has 2 Echo drones to work with. Reflex also has a drone to work with, but Mute Jammer is going to take out that. Reflex peaks, but there is Hold Down. Reflex gets the better end of that peeker's advantage. Almost hold it down by Hold Down.
Yeah, has been unfortunate right there. Time was not his friend in that situation either, which is always something to consider. He did a spectacular job, I think, of racking up those 3 kills and forcing it to that 1v1 situation. But definitely when you have like a minute to play with, right, and Diffuser is in possession, it does sort of favor the attacker in terms of allowing them the opportunity to kind of bait the plant, move around a little bit, try and force the defender into, well, exactly what we saw happen right there. That peek straight into master bedroom, and then, well, a nice headshot to finish it off. But still, a valiant effort from Hull Down. Won't say anything else less about it. What else could you have asked from him as an anchor?
Not much. You could have asked their roamers to stay alive longer. They didn't really
Yeah,
do a very good job of that extension. It was there, but they just got too aggressive. They tried to force fights early, and it just didn't work out. And well, we're back to the hamster trying to load himself into this game here, and I think it just might be the trend. Oh, he actually loaded this time.
building up speed,
Okay,
momentum,
he is. He's momentum. You're right. 100%.
physics. It's us, physics. Yeah.
All right, going back
Yeah.
to trophy and
Attackers need to
statue
locate
here. We'll
and
see if they
defuse
go
as
for
many
that
bombs as
extension
they
inside of Study and Aviator again here, or if they will just opt for a more master-sided hold. I think with having 3 people over by Aviator and Study, you should have at least gotten 1 to 2 to maybe even 3 kicks or stalled enough time for your Echo to actually be a factor. There was still a minute and 30 seconds left in that situation that Echo was put in, so questionable decision.
Yeah, that was exactly the problem. They just didn't burn enough time. I mean, you don't necessarily, right? This is one of those cardinal rules. You don't necessarily need your roamers to rack up a ton of kills. They just have to burn time, but you can't be having things fall back onto a lone anchor with 1 minute 30 left. But they've completely changed their lineup here, really. Clash coming out, a Wamai being thrown into the equation, and a Goyo coming in as well. So a very different look on this hold, and I expect Hold Down to get quite aggressive here, playing up onto that balcony door, just trying to deny any entry. And while the bodies are there waiting for him, taking their sweet time about it, though, going to check that side window really quick. See if they can't set up a sight line. Hold Down playing tight on the door, trying to enable a shot from Chosen behind. That's not a gunfight Kajak particularly wants to take. He'll pull out the old impact or stun. I'm not sure which he's going to throw in right there. Chronic holding tight on this corner as well. Could just loop around and maybe get something from the top of the stairs. Chosen takes the hit from the stun grenade, throws out another Wamai magnet there just to help catch anything that's thrown in. Study hold looking a lot tighter this time around, Matt.
Very much so, and I think it's going to come down to that flash play. Chosen, he might be getting a little bit too aggressive here on this flash.
Located by attackers.
He's trying to peek out, use it as a Miro window, and I don't think this is a smart play because it's just an easy pre-fire away from Chosen and a swift death. But he's not wasting any time, still trying to use that clash to the best of its ability as a moving shield. And doing a good job of that so far. Minute and 36 seconds left to play. Still no kills on either side. Each person still at a good relative HP. And as I say that, Kenny gets lit up a bit from the Twitch at the top of bathroom. The bank pushes up Astro stairs. Kenny will fall and be cut down. Floor is inside of Master Bedroom. Chronic is able to get the frag onto the bank as we see the Twitch of Mystic fall all the way back inside of Master, but not before he's cut down by Chosen, playing behind his shield there. The Wamai doing what they do best, and looking to try and take a fight here is Chronic inside of Bathroom. Still, man advantage in favor of Revenge Nation, and very much made better as Skunky picks off K-Jax. It's all up to Sloran. Reflex as the Nomad and the Ace. Try to do something. Barrel stuffing his Skunky. He finds Slor. It's all up to Reflex. On the other side of the map, 40 seconds left to play. No diffuser in hand. This one might be all wrapped up.
Reflex gonna rush out there, tries and goes for the feet. Won't find it. Easy trade back by Chronic right there. As easy as you please, really, and a much better hold of Study right there. That clash kind of making all the difference, really, squashing the aggro that was coming in off that balcony and making them completely reconsider the way they wanted to approach that. And once they came in through that master bedroom or into that general area, it was just a free-for-all there for the rest of the defenders as they look ahead to another Aviator Games room. And we'll see Hold Down coming out on a pulse here. Kenny going in with the Goyo as well. And it looks like we're missing one. It is Reflex, the unfortunate Reflex right there, who we saw get picked at the end, and who has he of the struggling computer. And a 6-pick over to the Clash there from Hold Down again. The ops so nice. They picked her twice here on this defense.
Is Reflex okay? They're in his points. Oh my god. Just a visual glitch? I doubt it's a visual glitch.
Does sometimes happen. I've seen it happen before. But yeah, in this particular circumstance, what is it? Occam's razor, simplest explanation is probably the most likely, and it's probably that he's having some PC troubles.
Well, he's having a little bit of troubles, and he did say that in the chat. Just your typical Saturday night stream. Reflex trying to get his hamster to go into overdrive. Maybe if he just gave it some G Fuel, it'll be all right. But you know, we'll never know. It's probably not good.
This
to
is
feed
not.
hamsters G Fuel.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we should say that we don't here at All World Gaming officially endorse the opinion of giving your hamsters G Fuel. Please do not send us any letters, lawsuits, what have you, about your hamster and G Fuel. Not on us. Don't put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby. Anyway, and there it is. Reflex on the Ying here, and K-Jax on a 0. I can't help but feel like this might be something related to study. I don't know. I almost feel like seeing the Clash played last round. I just don't know that you would not take a Nomad or somebody who could help you deal with that just a little bit.
I think the Ying was almost like a random pick. Like he couldn't load in, and it just random picked him the Ying.
Oh yeah, you might be right.
So I don't trust this team composition. The only ones I feel confident in are Ace, Twitch, and Ash. The 0 and the Ying just kind of look a little bit because who in their right mind would 6-pick off of Zofia for
onto a 0? Yeah,
it just
0's
doesn't make
cool.
sense.
But not probably better than Sophia in a lot of situations. Especially when you know that there's a likelihood that you'll be, the Clash will be awaiting on the other side. And you know they have a propensity to run Goyo as well. Yet another target for those impacts. So really doing yourself a bit of a disservice right there. But glad to see the Ace, the Twitch, the Ash will remain. I do quite like Call Down coming out on the Clash. It's always interesting. I mean, she's much reviled and deservedly so, but she is quite entertaining. To see the language alone makes it worth it, Matt, if I'm being honest.
Well, it looks like we're going back to Aviator and Games defense here. As French Nation looks to be setting up very similar. Actually, no. They have a rotate on study wall. And we've seen a couple of teams do this, where they put a shield inside of Vault, and then they play with the SMG Sniper 11 inside of Vault as cover, and they contest study door. It sometimes works, but it's such an area of, like, you have to hit the shot or else you're dead.
Yeah.
5 seconds to go.
It's really risky, it's really aggressive, but if the other team isn't expecting it and they clear it, they could be in for a rough time.
Chronic doing a little wiggle right there, anticipating his hold of the trophy or the statuarium. And yeah, I agree. It's a high risk, high reward statue. Throwing I'm all over the place. A high risk, high reward strat throwing that shield up there in the vault, especially a Goyo shield, because that vault can really quickly turn into a raging inferno. Anyway. At least for a brief amount of time. Floor losing the drone right there. Mystic just spamming down that open hole in the wall. DeBank here underneath with that Ash as K-Jax comes pushing in. Gonna go ahead and use the Gone 6 there, I believe, to take down that Maestro cam. One of the newest additions to the toolkit of Rainbow Siege operators. Back on the drones there.
The Gone 6 has a special spot, but it's so situational, and it's on
very much so.
It's on operators which you wouldn't normally pick. So it's for like a very specific audience. Ajax finds Chronic though is the first opening frag, and it's the first time we've seen Ignition actually get the opening pick, rather than the rounds that they haven't been able to really Explosion finds Mystic. Reflex as well. That's a 2 for him. But Thor is there to get the refrag to bank on the Goyo shield. Finds Kenny. 2v3 now as the man advantage well in favor of Ignition.
Especially considering one of those is a clash, so not exactly going to be gunning much, and numbers do not a clash help. All things considered, to bank there, putting down some fire. Kjax just holding down past the billiards hallway right there. Skunky going to continue hard holding that angle by bar. Series of explosions right there. They do still have the clash holding. Skunky does get one with the Alda. He's looking for another one here as well. Just continuing to fire into that wall, seeing if he can catch anyone at the knees. Talor is a little bit low, but here we see Hold Down just getting pushed back. Walks into the Goyo. Oh, no! The dangers of the Volcan being permanently illustrated right there, and the Maestro camera coming out. He's just going to try and swing it a little bit here. Skunky looking for anybody to walk back in. The shot coming out. He can't find it. Doesn't connect. 35 seconds on the clock here. Pressure building for the Maestro. Has to go for the reload. Only cover is basically a soft wall. Great shot down onto the balcony. Now he just needs to find one more.
He knows where he is, too. It's going to come down to the Peeker's advantage here, or if he's going to try and bait him out. The one tap, he hits him, he kills him! A clutch from Skunky, but does he have enough time? The time is ticking down. 3 seconds left. Oh, he's got this one in the bag.
Defenders have disabled the bomb diffuser.
Big hold there from Maestro. Everything you would expect from an anchor player in that situation. Played it really, really well. Even got the reload in there.
I can't
Amazing stuff.
I can't believe he hit that shot onto the ace on balcony. That is one of the nastiest shots I have seen all day, and I gotta say, that was incredible.
All about that Alda. Gotta love the LMG, the power
Can you
of the Maestro gun.
That thing used to have an ACOG. It
I
used
know.
to be even more powerful than it was today. It used to have 0 hip fire too. Like you could snipe people across the map. Like
You really could.
It was crazy.
Beautiful, beautiful gun. Mi amore. Anyway, we look ahead here to the dining room and the kitchen. Valkyrie will be coming out here. No Maestro. Hull down over to the castle. Jaeger coming out here as well. Sledge being played by Kjax, probably anticipating the need for a little bit of verticality here. I mean, it looked good for them for a while. They definitely had the man advantage. It was an unfortunate death for Hull down on the clash as well, just kind of getting backed up into a corner. Not a lot they could do. The Volcan spelling their doom ultimately, but sometimes you just can't account for one anchor pulling off a crazy shot and taking out one of your crossfire angles right away.
Those Vulcan shields are definitely can go both ways. I mean, the defenders, yes, they favor them more because they're faced towards you, and you know they're faced. The deadly part is faced towards the enemy, so you can basically project the fire onto the enemy. But also, the attackers get control of sight. Those Goyo shields are rendered useless because then it cuts off your rotation. So again, they're an interesting concept. But I think so. I don't know if you know this, but there has been a leaked rework where he could like place them down like Maestro, like Maestro gadgets, like they're bulletproof. Well, not bulletproof, but they have the bulletproof animation, so you can put it anywhere that you can physically get to. So it would then explode into fire, and it would be similar to the Goyo shields, but it wouldn't be a shield anymore. I think he'd have 3 of them. I don't know.
Basically, just fire traps.
It would just be fire
stage.
traps. Yeah. Then that defeats the purpose of that deployable shield mender, but I kind of like the shields because they're actually something physical to hide behind.
I mean, probably a lot of the time that we see Goyo played, he is played specifically because he brings 2 extra shields. I mean, they do have the, rocket fuel strapped to the back or what have you, but he does bring 2 extra shields to the equation. So I almost wonder if he wouldn't be as effective if he took, or as well liked if he took away those shields. Not well liked, let's say, picked for certain maps if he took away the shield aspect of it, but it would certainly be something interesting to experiment with. And what is Siege if not about experimentation?
This is true. A lot of the times it is about improvisation and the synergy between operators. That's part of the game. It's at its core. So when you change an operator's gadget from the ground up, it's going to impact them and their synergy.
10
with
seconds
others.
left.
Anyway, enough rambling. Going back to the kitchen site. This is the first time we've seen it from either
5
team.
seconds to go.
And I think we're going to be seeing a very heavy top-focused
Attacker's
hold here
objective is
from
to locate the
Revenge
bomb and
Almost necessary on this point, if we're being honest, right? When you start playing these lower floor points, you just cannot afford to surrender any sort of verticality to your opponents. Every time you're not contesting on the high ground, you're creating problems for yourself, and we'll see here just the beginnings of the push to bank here going into study. Already going to be contested there. Chosen coming forward, puts a couple of shots down range. Oh, Chosen! Whips around the door frame on the quick peek and just takes the bank down. And that is one entry fragger you will not be getting back. Might even get another one here. No, he won't quite land it there. I believe that was Reflex on the Nomad. Chosen just going to back up a little bit. Oh, he tries to go for the full peek as well. He can't quite land it. And now Reflex will manage to escape. Throws down the air jab there and goes to look down the hall of games. Takes the camera out as well. Chosen has fully backed up into statuary here, looking back towards master bedroom, but it's Kenny striking back. Chosen gets another one. Oh, the kills are racking up here. 5v2 now for the attackers. Not the best situation to be in, is it, Matt, really?
It's definitely not, but you have two key operators who can really start to change the game. You've lost all of your verticality presence, but that doesn't mean that you don't have your hard breacher on the board and your flank denial still. So they still have the potential to get that intel, to force sight, and relatively give them the crossfires to surprise the defenders. But they are running low on drone economy. They don't have all that many left. Nitro cells from below are also a factor in Yellow Pig coming out, but Tor got one back on the hold down. Late refrag there, making it a little bit more manageable. Nitro cell is going to go out. I think that's actually on an indestructible surface. That might actually not connect. Yeah. No,
Talor there. Talor rotates into Trophy, but it's Reflex who adds the next kill in, playing out of Astronomy. Throws that air jab on the Astronomy stairs just to give him a little bit of cover on that end. And Talor and Astronomy are living up to what Matt said here, trying to make this work. Still playing for that verticality, but running out of time. Kenny down in the kitchen, looking up through a hole there towards Closet. Now, there goes Reflex taken down. Talor, the last attacker remaining here on the ace. Can he do it? What?
He's dead. He's got one on a mute, but he doesn't have all that
a
much.
bomb has been located.
Yeah, he can't land
no.
the shots there. That's a rough one, but they had a cam on him the entire way. They had eyes everywhere, and, well, that happens. Kind of don't have much to do. Round's going to go to Revenge Nation. As we hit round 6 here, one more before the swap, we'll see if Ignition can force a 2-4 split here, which would be ideal, or if Revenge Nation will take the 5-1.
Yeah, it's been a bit rough for Ignition with the disconnects and what have you, and then a couple of rounds just not going their way. Poor Talor now, he's kind of been on the receiving end of two very unfortunate situations back to back right there, getting domed out on the balcony the round before that, and then there being kind of the last one standing, moving into a difficult spot. And you know his heart probably leapt a little bit when he managed to bring Skunky down, but just a matter of time really when you're stuck in that situation. And we'll see what they can muster here on yet another attack. Back up to Trophy Statuary. A call down coming out on the Clash once more, and we saw this obviously played to great effect a couple of rounds ago. Basically changed the entire tenor of the attack coming out of Ignition Esports into the study, and we would expect probably to see that happen again.
I would not be surprised at this point to see the Clash brought this last round. I mean, anybody who's been playing Clash knows the positioning they need to be in.
Yeah.
And we saw Hold Down do a really good hold down with Echo that first round, but you know, you can only do that so many times before you need to start focusing on other parts of your utility, and the Clash is definitely one of the best ways to do that. Still waiting on Reflex, the hamster PC man himself, to load into this game, and I think, well, I think this one might be over for Reflex.
Oh man, I hope that's not the case there. They throw out the pause timer here, and hopefully he'll be able to rejoin.
Revenge Nation paused it, which means
Oh,
both
Revenge
teams have
Nation took
used
the
their
pause.
paused. They've both used their paused, and IGN has used their
There's Reflex.
their what? Their rehost. I think he needs a new PC.
And or New Hamster. One of the other. That poor little guy. He's running as hard as he can. He's just not pulling it together today. Happens to the best of us. We all have our off days. Yeah. Anyway, back to the game, back to the sites. Reflex does come out here, and he will be on Sledge for this attack. Hopefully an operator that he actually wanted, Matt, not one that he was computered into right there.
I think it's the one that his computer got into. Only because of the way that he loaded in. I don't think that he's actually had the chance to select a single operator he wants to play. Which is unfortunate, because it's going to mess with your mentality, but it's better than playing a 4v5. So he is still a player, he still has the ability to watch drones, watch kids, give call-outs, help with team composition. Regardless, the only issue is if he gets auto to an operator with a skin on it, or an operator that's faked.
Indeed.
We could be seeing our first Flores.
Yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it? Anyway. Back at it again. Hold down. DeBank looking at the wall in front of them there and really wants to get, I think, Chosen here on a swing. The magnet comes in.
I don't understand if this Ashe is dumb or if she's trying to play with the Ashe. This is a terrible position to be trying to contest if you're the Ashe right now. You're trying to contest a moving flash with Chosen, who's basically a dead shot behind him. And you're getting zapped too. He's getting tased. It's just terrible.
Chosen doesn't even care. He's gone. He's just left hole there to hold it out. As a kill comes in there, Reflex though striking early. Don't tell him about the PC. He's trying to make it work without it.
I think he killed him with a Goyo shield. No,
he did, yeah.
He threw a grenade and it killed him with the Goyo shield. That's great.
Yeah, a delayed magnet there from Chosen. That's a bit too late, perhaps, to save his teammate, but Chosen quickly trading out gets to lore. The bit of a discombobulated push, genuinely, here as Chosen gets brought down, but the trade is there again. It's Chronic striking back. The sides staying relatively even here. Hold down, continuing to hold steady. Unfortunately, Kjax now added to the pile. Really kind of a knock him down, drag him out sort of round. DeBank now flanking up 290, looking for anything at all as Mystic throws some shots over to Trophy Room. There's a rotate back out, goes back and holds that hallway angle as well. DeBank again pushing in. I think we saw that hold down is still there. That's a good kill. DeBank drops. Now a 3v1 situation for Mystic. Not seen them in this situation before, though we have seen other members of the team. Oh, Mystic pumps the shots into the Clash Shield. What are you gonna do? It's Skunky running in with the shotgun to finish it.
That Nitro Cell almost connected to a really good play from Skunky. Good awareness to know that the Ashe on the other side. The Nitro Cell perfectly placed, but it almost caused as more of a screen shake distraction than an actual area to try and get a kill here. So moving into the swap here, we see that Revenge Nation has 5 and Ignition has 1. It looks like Reflex has actually chosen his operator this time.
Oh.
Congratulations.
They said it couldn't be done.
I said it
but here we are. Yeah, but he did. He's coming out of Valkyrie. Makes perfect sense. Kenny coming in on the buck. That's nice to see. Skunky there on the IQ. Hold down on a 0. And Ibana to round it out for that long-range hard breach. No Zofia, though. Choosing to forsake the Polish operator here in favor of that long-range hard breach.
So, when Zero was first introduced, I figured that he would be a attacking Valkyrie. Like, he could hide his cams.
Yeah.
They wouldn't make that much noise. I'm like, oh, dang, he's actually going to be really powerful. Then he got introduced. I played around with him for a bit. I'm like, wait, this guy sucks. His camera gadget is so easy to spot. It switches, it makes so much noise. It's got a giant flashing yellow light on it. Why would it be viable in any sense? And so far,
10 seconds
in this
left before
game,
insertion.
I have seen Zero played every single round.
5 seconds
And I
remaining.
don't understand why. And as an analyst
Attackers'
and
objective
as
is to
a
locate a
color
bomb and
commentator, I still cannot, for the life of me, figure out why Zero is viable on this map.
You know, funny enough, my thought pattern's very similar to yours in the way that I thought Zero was going to be versus the reality of the situation. And I still kind of like the idea of him as an op, but I do think those Arguses are just a little too loud and a little too visible for him really to get too much value off of him. He is bringing a hard breach charge here. I mean, that's a little bit of a help. He's got some decent guns as well, but they're playing this cautiously. I say that. Chosen just face-checking a door there, receives a face full of bullets in return, gets annihilated down here. DeBank swings and gets another one. Laroni coming in big. He's finally brought down. Oh, and the trades there fast and furious from the defenders.
That was Skunky getting not one, but 2 kills in 2 opposite directions, mind you. There was a guy in living room, and there was a guy in the mud room. He just completely annihilated him. What a shot. And, well, Mystic, he finds Skunky. K-Jax will be killed and cut down as well. And this is 2v2. But realistically, it's a 1v2, because Slor, well, he is sitting at a measly 2 HP.
Living on a prayer right there as Talor's Chronic begins to push the red stairs here, looking for something. Oh, there's Talor, and there goes Talor. We hardly knew ye. Mystic now alone here is going to go rotate through study. Knows in general where his opponents are. Is just going to slow peek this door, creeping right around it.
Attackers recover the
Chronic,
bomb.
I think, is still
Play. He
waiting.
has no idea.
Oh, no, Chronic's right there. Chronic, what are you doing? Oh, no, Chronic doesn't see it coming. You never hear the bullet that kills you.
Well, Kenny was there to potentially get the refrag, but he was not on his most aware of the situation.
Oh.
Mystic swings. Kenny is obliterated. And that is a clutch round from Mystic and Ignition. Wow. I never count out the Jaeger.
Never count out the Jaeger. Now when he's got the carbine in the pocket, that's a hell of a gun. But also, I mean, admittedly, let's be honest, I'm not sure what was happening with the Ash right there, just standing waiting. Were they on cams?
I know that
I don't know.
the buck was droning, but the Ash was holding an angle on 90. Now,
Rip.
the Jaeger didn't make any noise, but still, you have to be a little bit cognizant to know that there might be somebody inside. You can't just hold one angle. If you are, you need to be able to not be in a position where if somebody pushes up on you, you can't react quick enough. Well, she didn't see him.
No. Sometimes you just don't.
Defenders,
Sometimes
protect
your
your
gun
bombs
blocks
from being
in your
defused by
peripheral vision.
attackers.
That is the thing.
I hate that.
Works with Capcan traps too, depending on where you put them. Just fun fact. If you put them on the side of the door, you walk in with the gun on. Sometimes people, not that I'm advocating that people should go out and play Capcan, but if you're looking to entertain yourself, it's always slightly fun to put them in that position. Anyway, back to the setup here, trophy room. So Ignition stealing around here, and it was well played by them. Kind of those trades back and forth were pretty fast and furious. I definitely thought Revenge Nation kind of took the swing there for a while, but was not to be.
5 seconds left.
New camera feed up and running.
We're looking at the extension
Attackers'
here
objective is to
inside
locate a
of
bomb and defuse it.
Aviator in games. We see teams do it pretty often, but this time it doesn't look like they're opting for it on this, and it looks like the bank had a little bit of difficulty with this Valkyrie camera. He finally got it hidden inside of the pot plant. Bank spraying out a little bit more here and not accidentally hit that camera. Chosen, he's already eliminated the spawn pick from K-Jax. He finds one, he finds 2. Almost a third, but Chronic is there, and he is immediately killed by DeBank. These refrags are absolutely phenomenal right now.
Fast and furious action right there. everybody where they needed to be to trade that one back out. And now the situation all on the shoulders of Hold Down and Skunky. The bank here holding that study balcony. Not gonna push that any more than they need to. The bank's actually gonna back up here, rotate just around and go look at the entrance to games room right there for a brief second. Goes for the wall bang, finds nothing. Hold Down. Saw those bullets go flying by. Does a quick check here. Skunky finally pushing up through the study. Hold Down now pushing towards the vault. Skunky does get a pick. Hold Down turns his back on the vault and walks out. A little bit scary there, but Skunky has the other side. They go in for the drone here real quick, just trying to escort themselves forward. And we'll see what they can do. The shield there, the ADS, a intense little bit of defensive prospect there for them to attack into. They're pushing pretty concisely forward here. The shots coming in over the top of the shield, seeing if they can pick anybody who does come up. The ADS getting burned out there for a second. The flash comes in. The quick swing. The look. Oh, no.
He was looking directly at the trophy. Hold Down gets the refrag, but it's too late. Reflex is there to capitalize on it. Ignition gets another round here. This one a little bit more handily than the last one. Oh, beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot indeed. And the defense revitalizing Ignition Esports a little bit here after a rough attacking section. And Villa coming through for him right now as we go down to dining room kitchen. And not any significant sort of changes really coming out from the attacking lineup. It's been interesting, really, Matt, because most of the action has happened within the first, I don't know, minute of the round. It's not always the way we tend to see things go down.
They almost seem to be forcing the action right now.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's not that they're doing it unintentionally. They're doing it on purpose. They're going for spawn peaks. They're going for these interesting ideas, strategies. They're aggressive. They are really risky, but when they work,
attackers need to locate
God,
and defuse
they
bombs.
are absolutely amazing. And I guess you could say that right now, Ignition Esports have finally found the flame to ignite their operation.
I feel like there's a quip to be made about revenge, but I'm not going to be the man to make it. It will be found, right? There's 3 rounds for Ignition, but is it enough? We'll see here as we get set down for this kitchen hold. We've seen it played once already today, which is genuinely actually sometimes, or more than you sometimes see it played at all when you come to Villa, but here we are. Mystic throwing down the razor wire there. Malusi trap waiting for any poor soul that gets that far in.
This is interesting. They're bringing in a Rooney here. A Rooney has found very heavy playtime in competitive at She's almost like a castle, but the exception is that it allows defenders to rotate completely uncontested, and the attackers have to waste utility in order to push in physically through the doors. That's not to be said that bullets don't travel through, because they 100% do. There comes the rush inside of China. Chronic and company already inside of kitchen. Kenny finds floor reflex, falls. Skunky is killed. K-Jax is now eliminated. Kenny gets the refrag onto K-Jax. The bank is there, but he finished off by Chronic. What was that? That was a full-on rush, and it worked.
It sure did. Here comes the cavalry right there, and that was just brutally quick. You see the question marks in chat. Everybody wondering exactly what was happening there at the end, but that was a crazy fast round. It plays very much to what you were saying just before that, Matt, about how quickly this team can go. And like you said, you force those. Yeah, you force the engagement. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you, but they definitely got the bear on that one, and it allowed for a very quick plant and hold. And they just got the kills. I mean, sometimes it comes down to sheer gunplay. You just get the kills in those kind of aggressive, right up the gut situations. We go back to Aviator Games now. Maybe they try it again.
It looks like they're going to try and stop this rush here, and that's what the Legion and the Malusi aid to do so. Legion Malusi probably
defenders protect
some of the more
your
powerful operators who can slow down attackers. Now, it doesn't favor the 22nd meta because the traps, they're easily dispatched of, especially as the Legion, easy to shoot. The only issue here is that Malusi is on the board. Malusi is an absolute nuisance of an operator. Not only does she make you super slow, not only is her gadget bulletproof, it also is loud as sin, okay? That thing will
10 seconds.
just completely alter your sound. It'll mess up your
5 seconds to go.
aim, it'll shake you a little bit. So, it's just...
Attackers are
the fact
moving out to locate a bomb and
bulletproof means
defuse
you
it.
have to get up close to melee it. Like, I can't wait until they figure out a way to balance her. Like, just let her gadget be shot. Why can't it be shot?
Oh, but Matt, you can shoot it with a Gon 6, the newest utility to be added to Rainbow Six Siege. Just plug that really quick right there. Obviously not going to balance it at all, is it? But maybe that's kind of the thought process behind it. Anyway, we look at it.
Even take the Gon 6 and 0, and I don't think he's ran it at least once.
He has not. No, wait. He did once. Somebody did. I think it was
Somebody
0.
did. On
Bomb
Ignition.
located by
Whoever
attackers.
was playing
Oh.
0 on Ignition.
I see it.
Trophy room already taken here. Quick scan by Chosen right there to see if there's any tech waiting for them. And a couple of blips, but nothing too worrying here. They will actually slow down just for a second here to send out the drone.
Attackers have recovered their defuse.
There's a nitro cell.
Oh, boy.
Ajax finds Chosen. He's cut down again, and bodies are flying everywhere. And yeah, again, forcing the action quickly, but I don't know if it's intentional at this point, because IGN just kind of ran right into them. And a brick wall was laying there for them. So what was once a 5v5 quickly turned into a 3v3 in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, it's the blood flowing fast and furious here, and we'll see now. Talor still holding on. Kenny rappelling up to the study balcony. Does hop back on the drone there and do a little bit of scouting. Chronic now pushing down to 90. Talor still here, still waiting, still holding the hallway. Interesting little hold position there with the shields. Got the pixel peak set up and ready to go. He's actually just going to smoke it out. Makes sense, all things considered, and a good stop there, but it won't save the shield. Kenny does get the pick. Okay. We're in business now, going in and quickly securing the fortify. Reflex. There's one right on the other side of the wall. Skunky is there. Checks the cams real quick. Kenny now trying to push in from study, still playing on that side. Skunky goes for the look, but it's Kenny who just gets his head taken off as soon as he comes through the door. The Legion there coming in big, the goo going off, and the pressure's on now. The second smoke thrown out here. The two attackers rotating around together, coming in through 90. They're going to push Games Room by the looks of it. They do have the soft wall there, and there is the Malusi trap going out. You hear those sound cues, and gooed. Oh, no.
What a massive blunder on the side of Revenge Nation. They should have just kept pushing on the landing here. 20 seconds left to play. Skunky still got a couple of goo mines to deal with here. Trying to peek out by the person near bar. Spraying out the vault. The free fire coming out. Although it's winnable, he's found one. Looking for the second. He's got it. Revenge Nation. Skunky putting the team on his back.
Look at that.
Beautiful shots, too.
Second big sort of clutch situation I think we've seen from Skunky today. He was on this site with the Maestro. He did the same thing on the other side, and then he comes in big for his team there with the Havana. Beautiful stuff from the skunk man from Revenge Nation. Love to see it.
What a freaking match. Gotta say, IGN, they played really aggressive. Like,
Yeah.
really unorthodox. Because on Villa, it plays for that 20-second meta. It favors teams who take their time, slowly push into sight, and overall just play very calm, collected, and methodical. Well, I don't think that's what Ignition had planned, and nor what Revenge Nation thought they were going to do, because IGN was able to snag a couple of rounds, but once Revenge Nation caught on to their gameplay and tactics and style, it didn't end up well for them. Revenge Nation is going to take this one 7-3 on Villa. And yeah, not much more to say other than Revenge Nation really coming out here and putting Skunky putting the team on his back, really winning multiple clutch situations.
Absolute champion. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You've been watching All World Gaming Rainbow Six Season 1 here. As we did say, it will be Revenge Nation taking the win over Ignition Esports 7-3. I've been Corbeck, joined by It's Me, Matt. We had Vortex on production and Kizo handling our observation. Thank you so much for watching, and from all of us here at All World Gaming, have a nice evening.